Welcome to the 2007-2008 32-team franchise. This is the recap of the Washington Redskins, who ended up going 8-8, third in the NFC East. This team started out extremely solid as a contender. They were the number one team in the NFC up until week about 10 or 11 when they went on a huge losing streak. It started out with Jason Campbell, who was injured in game one, and that led Mark Brunell, the veteran, to lead the team. When he was winning, he was doing great, right? So he had 2,500 passing yards, 24 TDs, 3 rushing TDs. But as the season went on, the Redskins started to lose and continue losing. They were about 6-1, 7-1, and then just started going on a losing tear. So here we go. Here's some highlights with Corin Robinson. Again, they lost Santana Moss early in the season, and he ended up having a return near the end. So we had some less highlights, but other wide receivers were stepping up, like Robinson there. As you can see, some big plays by him, even on the short plays. But yeah, he was doing his job on the offensive end to help Brunell out. When they were on their losing streak, I tried to insert Jason Campbell back in once he was healthy, but he didn't do much better. So I kind of saw it as, well, if a team is playoff bound and they have a system working with one of their quarterbacks, they're going to stick with him. So they ended up sticking with Mark Brunell. However, in the offseason, they are going to go with Jason Campbell next year. Then with Brandon Lloyd, 757 receiving yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. Again, a younger player there trying to step in the role to successfully replace Santana Moss during his injuries. I had a fairly good season to show for it. And there, Santana Moss, again, he got 613 receiving yards, but 9 receiving touchdowns. He ended up being the go-to guy for the end zone late in the season, back when they were actually losing, but he was still the guy that they were going to make up some of those points that they were failing to match. Here's some more highlights. Here we go, Antoine Randall L. 227 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Kind of a third, fourth option. Again, had more playing time due to the injury to Moss. Now, as for the running game, which is what we're going to get into right now, Clinton Portis was one of the top rushers in the league. I think he was either number 1 or number 2. And he had 1,454 rushing yards, 13 rushing touchdowns. Didn't have as much receiving, but he didn't need to. Again, he was one of the main forces on their offense that just exploded. What also helped him too was he wasn't getting injured. I know in real life he had some injuries he was battling throughout his career. This season he was mostly healthy. So as you can see, he's over there breaking tackles, powering through, making the defense cave to his will. And look at that beautiful blocking on that play right there, not even touched. And he did not fumble once either, which I thought was interesting. But he was very normal with those big plays. It happened all the time. Here's their defense and special teams. Love that little fake play there that worked wonders. And then they did have some kick return touchdowns. So here's one. And another one. Right there, untouched all the way to the end zone. And then, of course, a field goal block. As for the rankings, they were the 20th ranked offense in the league. Following that, they were the 31st total passing yards team. But they bounced back with the 6th ranked rushing yards team. And then regarding total points, they were 12th. Again, very top heavy at the beginning of the season, faded away near the end. 16th ranked defense and least yards allowed, right in the middle, with 24 passing yards allowed. and they were the 8th ranked in top 10 in least rushing yards allowed. Regarding points allowed, they were the 22nd least points allowed team. There it is, the 2007-2008 NFL season with the Washington Redskins looking to bounce back next year and get into the playoffs.